Hi John, lovely to meet up with you and do a couple of sessions on your game. Quick video recap as promised about the key changes and the key points that we've made during your sessions. What we have here on the top left is our swing at the start of the sessions. We've got a setup that's not really adequate, a very long arm swing where we collapse at the top, an eagerness to throw the club head at the golf ball, a little bit of imbalance, struggling to control the low point of the swing and struggling to control what the club is doing in regards to the path of the swing as well. It's quite an erratic movement at that stage. So first changes were made. This is you when you came back after your first session. The first session was relating to setup. We wanted you to turn the feet out a little bit more, and we wanted you to keep the arms straight. So we wanted you to focus on flexing the arms less during the backswing to try and tidy up that P4 position. And the model we used was Grant weight, where you can see there both feet are turned out and we're controlling the length of the arm swing and therefore the radius of the swing. Feet turned out more, weight forward more, left shoulder working down much better. A little bit of an excessive straightening of the right leg at this stage. Now this is very early in you, this is actually the first or second swing that you made during your most recent visit. You can see whilst it's a much better looking action than you came into the studio with on your first visit, it's still a little bit excessive with the arm swing. You see there, I'd like to see at that position, but the elbows flex and the arms lift. And we talked about the rate at which the right knee was straightening. We do want it to straighten, but it should be straightening incrementally from P1 setup to P4, the top of the backswing. So once we talked about that, we also said that to arrive in this position that we see Grant weight in, if you will, on the red line, to arrive here, you are going to have to feel or visualize that you are only swinging the left arm to about here in the golf swing. So the feeling on the way back initially was to get the left arm parallel with the ground, and that would be the completion of the backswing. So that's the feel. When we look at you doing this movement, we get a much tidier looking P4. If you look at that as a comparison between the top left and the bottom left, it's massive. Right leg now straightening at a much steadier rate, controlling the length of the arms. And then we talked about the change of direction. What happens as we change direction? What happens is the wrists hinge a little bit more. The arms are brought down by the movement of the body. They then engage from about P5 onwards. So what was happening here early in your session is you were engaging the arms very, very quickly. And as a result, the club was getting thrown away from you. And that was widening the radius of the swing. You can see there we're encouraging hitting the ground behind the ball at that point, unless we make some other subtle alterations in the downswing. So the feeling we want is that the arms don't engage until P5 onwards. So controlling the length of the arm swing, allowing the right knee to straighten more incrementally, and then feeling like the downswing starts or is initiated by the left knee moving forward. And you talked about the hips moving forward as well, which is good. That's the feel that it gave you. And that in turn tightens up the radius of the swing dramatically. And if you look at that position, this is a drill swing, by the way, so it is a little bit more emphasized, but you can see the difference now between the position of the club at P6, where the release point is. Release point here is on the inside of the right heel, and release point here is more towards the front half of the stance. So quite emphasise the change in that. If we run that through and have a look at the actual swing when you hit the golf ball, you should start to see a sort of blend between the two. So key thoughts here: we narrowed the stance a little bit on what you entered the studio after your second, or to the start of your second lesson. We want to shorten the arm swing. That's tons better. That if you compare that, there's an actual shot If you compare those two positions at the top, that's chalk and cheese. That'd be a nice one to show the girls when you meet up with them next. Alright, I got a feeling you might be sending them this video at some point. We're then going to throw the club head away too quickly, engaging the arms too soon, whereas here we're going to push forward with the lower body. You can see again the difference that has on the overall look of your goal swing, and in particular the angle at which the shaft is loaded at P5. Here we've already started to unload the wrists and start to throw the club away from us. As you then progress through, very wide at P6, very high. The old habit's kicking in there a little bit, but again much tighter at P6. I'll just play this through together, and a much different looking impact position, and as a result a better looking through swing as well. And one of the things we talked about was the drill where we focus on maintaining the wrist angles during the downswing a little bit more, and you can see I'm shadowing you at the back there, demonstrating how this drill should be done. Holding onto the wrists, holding onto the wrists, holding onto the wrist, and you see as I do that the lower body is moving forward more and more and more. If you look at the way you're doing the drill for the first time here in this footage, and you can see that you're quite eager to complete the downswing, and you're already down by the time I'm maybe about a quarter of the way down. So really emphasize things when you're doing the drill, trying to maintain that wrist angle from the top all the way down to impact to encourage that more linear movement with the lower body. You can see there that the left knee moves forward for longer and that the hips are pushing forward for longer, creating a lot of good things in the downswing and through swing. So again, just to recap, we've narrowed the stance a little bit on from where you were at the start of the session. We're flaring both feet out, which is what we talked about in the first session. We're controlling the length of the arm swing, and then we're working on the change of direction, bringing the arms down from P4 to P5 by the movement of the lower body, and as we do that we should feel the wrists load a little bit more. I'll forward this to your email. It'll be posted on the channel as well. You can view it as and when you like. Good luck with it. Hope you have a great trip to Germany and China. I look forward to hooking up with you in September, October to work further on your game. Good luck. Well done.